Good morning, everyone. We're going to talk about something that's going to make me sound like a very old man. And that is, quite literally, an address book. Why would you need an address book in 2022? Everything is so digitized. Everything is on the cloud, the web, da 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 da. You store things on your phone. Well, I'm disorganized and I'm also very old. Well, I'm not that old. But anyway, but also, well, joking aside, I am one of those people that loves books, paper. I like things that I can feel, like things I can smell. I like things I can just, experience. And so I was at the bookmark, and I actually had been looking for an address book lately, and I was looking in the wrong places. And I was looking at office supply stores just for a simple address book. They don't have them there because they can sell you a computer and you put everything on your hard drive or on the cloud. Uh, but I went down to the bookmark, and they had these actually a whole section on address books, really nice. And I went with they had simple ones. They had some funner, some ones that had fun patterns on them. But I went with something that I thought is quite beautiful, very reminiscent of, books from, say, the 1800s, 1900s. It's sort of a fabric cover. Well, it feels like a fabric cover. It's embossed, nice texture to it. You run your hand over it. It feels almost like thread on cloth. Maybe it is. Maybe it is some kind of embroidery of machine embroidery, or maybe it's just printed. I don't know, but it looks really nice and it feels really nice and it has a nice weight, and it's an address book. And well, the reason I need an address book is if you're anything like me, I actually do have a lot of addresses on my phone. Usually it's in the form of text. So if I'm looking for somebody's address, I have to go find the text that they had sent me 2 years ago. So that involves me scrolling along, and I keep on meaning to write their address down somewhere or store it somewhere. So I go looking. But the other thing I keep is an index box, and I have I've carried this box around for 20 some years probably, or a box very similar to it. Probably this one. I've had this one a long time. And, well, it's just full of junk. If you look at it, it's got index cards, but it also has, like, I'm not going to open it up and show you anything in case anything pops up. But I'm one of those people. Somebody sends me an envelope, a letter or something like that. I'll rip the address off, and I tend to stick it in the box with the good intentions of copying it down, and then I don't. And I don't need everybody's address, but I do have some pen pals and friends, and so I was gonna, write down a proper book with everybody I care about in it, and uh, addresses and phone numbers, stuff like that. I'm probably going to do it in pencil. The reason I'm wondering, should I do it in pen or should I do it in pencil? I'm leaning towards just writing everybody's name in, address and stuff with pencil, because it's such an odd time. People are always on the move. People in my age are, selling their houses or moving to different places. Younger people are always on the move, things like that. So I might just use a pencil, and if somebody moves, I can just erase the address and put the proper one in. So anyway, it's by a company called Paperblanks. It's an address book, acid-free, sustainable forest paper. So I think they must be replanting or using. I don't know. I don't know how it goes. So it has. It's called Fire Flowers, alphabetical thumb index, memo pouch. Oh, memento pouch. Where's that? Oh, right there. You know what? This is one of the things I really like about the Lystrom 1917 notebooks. They have this little pouch at the back, and it's really nice that this. I didn't even notice that until I was just reading that. It has a little pouch, and I love these things because I'm always sticking things in them. But what else does it have? It's Smith sewn binding and acid-free sustainable paper. And I don't know much about paper blanks, but I've seen a few of their notebooks. They make good products by the look of it. So I'm assuming it would probably be fountain pen friendly, but I'm probably going to use my pencils, just write everybody's name in. And as you can see, the other thing I like about it is has these little cutouts here, so you can see all the proper alphabetized areas. You just flip through to E rather than having to file through it. That's a nice thing in an address book. It'll hold more addresses than I need, but I can probably make notes and things like that, birthday reminders, stuff like that. But yeah, so it's a big improvement over this system, and it's quite lovely. So do you use address books? It's kind of interesting. Am I just so much of a Luddite nowadays? I've always been a bit of a Luddite, even though I use technology all the time. But anyway, it's very beautiful, and if you what do you think? Do you use address books? Are they necessary, or are they just sort of a nice thing to have that's kind of a throwback? Let me know in the comments below. Actually, since we're talking about addresses and writing, these are for people, pen pals and such like that. I'm going to show you something I have a pen pal, and I covered everything up so you don't see my name and his name, but he sent me this letter, and I was really quite impressed with the fact that he used vintage stamps, unused vintage stamps. Usually, when I get an envelope, the first thing when somebody sends me a letter, one of the first things I see who it's from. That's kind of nice. The other thing I look at is the stamp, because it's this, even though they're small and such, they're beautiful works of art in their own self, And I've always loved stamps. I actually have a very disorganized stamp collection. Quite often I rip the stamp, actually all the time I rip the stamp off, letters or bills that come in that carry them. I often wonder why Canada Post doesn't use stamps on all its letters. So sometimes you go to the post office, they'll just run it through a machine and you get this paper label, which is really sad. And they use a couple vintage stamps from the 70s, and it has Inuit art, and I have these in my collection. I'm going to keep them on the envelope, and I'm just going to store these letters away from pen pals. This is a traditional contemporary stamp, and it's quite nice. But often, you go to the post office, they'll just give you that. I like to say, give me something like fancier. But that's just something I really appreciate. And I wonder, do you like getting envelopes with beautiful stamps on them? Tell me what's the most beautiful stamp you've ever received on an envelope. That'd be kind of fun to hear about. I know it's a fountain pen channel and we're talking about postage stamps, but that's where my mind goes. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this rather strange little video. And if you're new to the channel, I'd love it if you could subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you didn't like the video, give it a thumbs up or whatever. But anyway, I'm just wandering through the day, and I hope you're having a great day out there too. And thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.